newspaper. The noise of the breaking bottle wakes Will Rhodes before he wants to be awake, in the middle of a dream, a good one. He reaches in the direction of his wife, her arm bare and soft and warm and peach fuzzy, the thin silk of her nightie smooth and cool, the strap easily pushed aside, exposing her freckled shoulder, the hollow at the base of her neck, and the rise of her nothing. Chloe isn't there. Will's hand is resting on the old linen sheet that bears someone else's monogram, some long-dead Dutch merchant, a soft stack that Will purchased cheaply at a sparse flea market along a stagnant canal in Delft, refitted by an eccentric seamstress in Red Hook who repurposes odd-shaped old fabrics into the standardized dimensions of contemporary mattresses and pillows and mass-production dining tables. Will wrote an article about it, just a couple hundred words for an alternative weekly. He writes an article about everything. Chloe's note is scrawled on a post-it stuck on her pillow. Early meeting, went to office. Have a good trip. See. No love, no miss you, no nonsense, nothing. Will had gotten out of the karaoke bar before falling into the clutches of that wine rep. Back seam stockings and hot pink bra straps, a propensity for leaning forward precipitously. She was waiting to pounce when he returned to the table after his heartfelt, fake plastic trees, a restrained bow to the applause of his dozen inebriated companions, whose clapping seemed louder and more genuine than the measured clapping of the 1,000 pairs of hands that had congratulated Will hours earlier in the ballroom when he'd won an award. "You look great in a tuxedo," she'd said, her hand suddenly on his thigh. "Everybody looks great in a tuxedo," Will countered. "That's the point. Good night." But it was 2 a.m. when he got home, earliest, maybe closer to 3. He remembers fumbling with his keys. In the hall, he kicked off his patent leather shoes so he wouldn't clomp loudly up the wood stairs in leather soles. He thinks he stumbled. Yes, he can feel a bruise on his shin. Then he probably stood in their doorless doorway, swaying, catching a glimpse of Chloe's uncovered thigh, eggshell satin in the streetlight. She hates it when Will comes home in the middle of the night, wearing inebriated sexual arousal like a game day athletic uniform, sweaty and stained and reeking of physical exertion. So he probably stripped. Yes, there's his tuxedo, half in the chair, bow tie on the floor, and passed out, snoring like a freight train, stinking like a saloon. Will shades his eyes against the sunlight pouring through the large, uncurtained 6/6 windows, with bubbles and chips and scratches and whirls in the glass, original to the house, 1884. Built back when there were no telephones, no laptops or internet, no cars or airplanes or atomic bombs or world wars. But way back then, before his great-grandparents were born, these same glass panes were here, in these windows, in Will and Chloe's new old house. He hears noise from downstairs. Was that the front door closing? "Chloe?" he calls out, croaky. Then footsteps on the creaky stairs, but no answer. He clears his throat. "Chloe?" The floorboards in the hall groan, the noise getting nearer, a bit creepy. "Forgot my wallet," Chloe says. She looks across the room at the big battered bureau, locates the offending item, and turns to her husband. "You feeling okay?" He understands the accusation. "Sorry I was so late. Did I wake you?" Chloe doesn't answer. "In fact, I was getting ready to come home when—" Chloe folds her arms across her chest. She doesn't want to hear this story. She simply wants him to come home earlier, having had less to drink. Their time home together doesn't overlap all that much, but staying out till all hours is his job. It's not optional. It's not indulgent. It's required.